Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Positive Traction Podcast. And today, if you don't know this lovely face, well, then you need to get on with it because he's on my feed a lot. He is a very, very important friend to me, business partner, and so many things that we live this life with. I say to you, officially the CEO of Brownstone Capital Investments, along an array of many other articulate amazing things that this guy brings to the table. But this is a mini bonus teaser to a live episode for Sir Daniel and I. But without taking any more time away from him, in this short version, enjoy something that he is really applied himself into his life that I respect very much. To that, Sir Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you, my friend. It's nice to be here. I mean, it took me long enough to get me on. It's not like you invited me about 3 times and I kept being busy today.
True.
So, what do you want to know? Where should we go?
Well, there's a word that you use a lot, and I believe that you're going to paint some ink on your body to give you a remembrance. But I feel in this short series something that people can really take. I know that I take from you. You have a very different way. You know, I come from, let's say, a sports world, and you as a fan, but you didn't play sports a whole lot, but you are athletic, you are functional in that. But you keep saying a word that I think people can relate to, and that's discomfort. So I'd like to unpack that. What does that mean to you?
That's a good question. So, one of the twins, our youngest, take the credit for introducing me to this principle. He used to follow some YouTubers called Yes Theory, and their tagline is always a hashtag of seek discomfort. And when he first shared it with me, something resonated. I feel that we as a species, most of us, and I was definitely in that camp, have gotten kind of soft and safe. You know, if the world is a bit too warm, we put the air conditioning on. It's a bit too cold, we put the fire on and we wrap up warm. And we tend to try and avoid more difficult things. And I think it backfires. So in the short term, it's very nice to stay wrapped up warm. It's very nice I'm not going to go for a walk in the evening when it's dark and a bit cold out, when I can be all comfy on the sofa watching Netflix. But I think it then backfires because we become weaker and we're less able to tolerate what life then throws at us. So as I say, this was very much me. It's how I used to be, that I was trying to keep my life perfectly here in the middle. And if life threw me curveballs, which it does, it's always going to be that way. It's unavoidable. I struggle to cope. So I started to embrace this idea that if you kind of step into uncomfortable things, almost consciously create them, not in a self-sabotaging way, but more in just this will be difficult in a good way and I will grow because of it. If you go and make that happen under your own control, when the things happen that are out of your control, you're much more resilient. It's had such an impact on my life. Yes, here across my forearm, I can see it. I haven't quite decided on the font or who the tattooist will be, but I want it there because I want to see it every day in the mirror. So taking physical examples before we talk about more mindset work stuff, I will go for a long walk in the extreme heat on purpose, not to the point where I'm going to make myself so dehydrated I feel unwell or I burn. That's silly, that's doing harm.
Right.
But just enough so it's uncomfortable, so I get home and go, that was tough, that was hard, but I'm now more resilient. I go and jump in the pool when it's cold in the middle of winter, because done right, there's actually all sorts of health benefits to that. It makes me more resilient. Actually, it makes me more resilient when it's just cold in general.
So, Sir Daniel, I want to ask you something because as you're speaking again, and because it's a mini bonus series, but I love where you're going with it. But I wanted to, people that are listening to this and they hear that word, you know, to everybody it means something different.
Yes.
I believe what I've seen you apply this word, and you can go with this, is we all get soft, right? Discipline is a word that is not used as much. It's becoming like the unnormal for people. It's a sacrifice to people. So I believe what you're saying is this, is that life is a 100%, almost on a daily basis, going to throw obstacle at us. Some days more than others, obviously. No matter how much you prepare, no matter what your beliefs are, that's a fact, right? But I think what you're doing, and I think this is one of the things that is great about you, is you're saying, look, I'm going to go seek it, not in a crazy fanatical way to just sabotage my life, but I'm going to say if there's a little bit of a harder way to go at something, that ultimately the outcome can be better because I'm sacrificing short-term comfort for long-term rewards is how I interpret what you're saying, because you're saying, look, I can go on a walk and 3 miles is what I said today. I'm done. Check off my list. But I believe what you're saying is, well, maybe I set the bar too low with those 3 miles, or I could have done more in those 3 miles that ultimately won't let me just settle for whatever life gives me, but really capture the kind of life that I want. And you found different moves. So maybe you can give us an example of one of the many things more specifically that you can go, that was me. This is what I've done, and this is the outcome that I have now experienced.
That's a great question. I guess right now, because we're filming this in the morning, I'm thinking about where my first couple of hours of today have been, which has been my discipline, to use that word, morning routine, which I don't actually always want to do, but I make myself do it because I know the benefits. So just as a for example, I might get up and have that initial bleary-eyedness and I want my coffee. There's proven health benefits to not having the coffee straight away. And I actually also love the delayed gratification. So I take my electrolytes and I drink my water, and then I start my morning routine of reading and my red light and all that kind of stuff. And then I have my coffee about 45 minutes to an hour later. I enjoy the coffee even more because of it, and there's a health benefit to it. Now, what I wanted to do on a pure reactive emotional level was get up and make my coffee. I'm actually healthier, happier, and so on by doing the more difficult thing. I have a discipline about reading a certain number of pages of my book every morning. There's the odd morning I don't feel like it, and I could just stick the TV on instead and watch something else. But if I want to be, I'm someone who reads every day. That's the self-talk that I have. And I'm someone who wants to grow every day. And by having that habit in place now for about 4 years, I've now read hundreds and hundreds of books. You can see a few of them on the little shelf behind me. And I've grown massively. I believe that if I didn't keep that discipline in place every single morning, there's a danger that I stop being the person that reads and grows every day. And then it would backfire. So the comfort in the moment of, I'll skip it, I'll just watch TV this morning, could backfire on me. And so I'll do the slightly more uncomfortable thing on the day I feel like I can't be bothered, I'll do it anyway. I feel so good then after I've read that book. It's like when you do the workout you didn't want to do, it's the best workout ever. And then I'm better off because of it. So I believe my brain, my knowledge, my skills, and so on have grown massively because of this very big picture of having read 300 books in the last, say, 5 years.
Well, I love that. And I think, again, and I say, and why I love that we picked this subject is because I want to make it applicable to people that seek comfort all the time. That the minute it gets warm, the AC is jacked up. Now, mind you, have gas in life. We get that. So people need to read between the lines here. What we're saying is that if we're going to really create our self best, if we're going to say, look, we believe that the best Henry, the best Daniel is going to be the best husband, the best father, the best business partner, etc., then we need to feed that person first in ways that are going to help us be our best. And it's not just a saying, it's a way of life. So in this particular subject, you're saying, look, you're stimulating your mind. Most people might say, I get out of bed, aside from their prayers or meditation, they're going to do push-ups or they're going to get physically moving. Feel for you and maybe for others that have never tried it is you're stimulating your mind. You drink your electrolytes, your water, you're reading your mind. So you're getting the mind going. And then the physical part comes right before after your coffee, etc. But you feel that's, and you have different health benefits, which we can do a little shout out to that here at the end, which I love. And I've seen that transition in you. But I want someone now, for example, they're listening going, well, that sounds great, but that's not real. For me, I like comfort. I like staying that. What would you say to someone if that is their attitude that can, in a very nice wording way, say to them, like...
So I wouldn't say, no, you're completely wrong. Don't be so ridiculous. That would be the best way of saying. No, look, I'm not saying there's a right answer here, but the conversation I like to have with people is, to what extent is all of your life the way you want it to be? To what extent do you have all the things you want or achieving the things you want, feel the way you want to feel, etc. And if someone says, couldn't be better, it's mind-blowingly good, I'm like, well, who am I to even suggest anything? Like, please teach me. I think that everybody would actually say, no, this could be better in my life, this with my work or physical health or this relationship or whatever it might be. Okay, then let's talk about that. Because if you continue to do the same things you've done in your life, why would any of those things be any different? Something somewhere has to change for a thing to grow, change, improve, whatever it might be. Let's just float it as a possibility. This could be one of the possibilities for people, that there's something where they need to lean into a thing do something more challenging for the greater benefit. So that would be my more polite and hopefully helpful way of saying it.
Yeah, and I think so. I love that was a great answer, and I think it is. I think that look at you always ask, and we can get into this more in our in person one, but you always share like, look, there is no, and anyone that's real, there's no level of destination of success. It is a journey that's always constant. There's milestones, there's certain goals we hit, but we are to enjoy, be present, but also push the body mentally, physically, emotionally, because that's how we're constant. Because we could, let's give a practical example. We could all say we did a 3 mile walk and I hit it in X amount of minutes. But if I just would have gone a little bit more, which I know I could have. So if we have that mentality that we can always do more, and you're a big component of that belief, it doesn't take away that you're not grateful. It doesn't take away that you are taking it for granted. You're just saying that we wouldn't be in the society in 2024 we are today if people 30 years ago, 200 years ago said, yeah, we're good. We don't need cars. We don't need electricity, right?
Yeah.
So somebody continued to push, and you would argue, not argue like, but you would say, oh, that was discomfort because somebody had to say something that people go, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's crazy talk.
And actually have the negativity come from so many people saying, you're wrong, that's not necessary, that's not required, you're wasting your time. And
Yeah.
suffer that in the belief of something bigger, better, etc. But yeah, society in general, and I know that, there's things that sometimes go backwards, and in any moment it can feel like, oh, things used to be so much better. There's so much data and information that says, in general, the world does get better and better and better. It has its hiccups and challenges along the way, and they need addressing. But overall, life gets better. But it doesn't get better by accident. It gets better probably because of the people that go, I want better. I want ever
Yeah.
more. And as
Yeah.
you said, it makes me think of that book that we all read, The Gap and the Gain. It's
Yeah.
not about we're not good enough and focusing on the negative. It's about, well, we want ever better. And we're happy with how far we've come so far, but that's to today, and tomorrow I want more. I think living in that place of recognizing what you've achieved and where you've come and how you've grown as a human, and that you'd like even more tomorrow, having both of those ideas together at the same time, I think is really, really healthy.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I know that, and everybody again listening, thank you. It's a mini series because you can see this. This is going to be very impactful. Especially, I get to be in front of Sir Daniel, and we're going to add some treats of our journey. But to leave people, as you like to say, with some crumbles, being English and all, I love that. And guys, listen, discomfort is a word that no one's going to say, "Oh my gosh, I love that word." It does take effort and commitment to start enjoying that word and what it means. But I have personally seen your success in this. I've seen your growth in it. I've seen our team. And even this year, as a teaser, we've had a lot of discomfort that we did not seek. But I love to see us being practical and applying the challenges that happen in life that had you not been in that mindset as the CEO could have crippled things in life because we face those things in life. But when you are like, okay, I need to deal with this, I need to better it from here, then it allows you. So I think all the sacrifices for the longer term joy are very much worth it. But in this last minute, any final thoughts? Normally people ask me a question, but we're going to save that for our in person. You got to hold on to it because
I've got a
this is
list.
well, the good news is you have a little bit of a heads up, but in these final moments of thought, Sir Daniel, what is, if someone said, I like that, I'm excited to hear more, what is a practical step that we can give them if they wanted to go and apply this discomfort?
Okay, off the top of my head, I'm going to say, if you start with the end in mind, pick something in your life that you would like to be better or even better, whatever that thing might be. And then pick one action that a person that's already achieving that thing would do. So, like I say, if it was, I want to enhance my knowledge, I want to be a better leader, whatever it might be. Okay, what's a better leader do? Well, a better leader, just using the example because we use it
Yeah,
already,
yeah,
reads leadership books. Okay, so I'm going to be a person that reads books. When's a good time to do it? Well, if I did it every morning before I kind of started my day, that will be a step for me. And that will be difficult because I've got to plan it in and have the discipline.
Mm.
I'm going to be a person that starts reading 10 pages every single day from tomorrow morning. I'm going to make a reminder on my phone. So remember, I'm going to leave my book out next to my coffee machine, and I will become that person. And it's going to be tough for me at first. And that will be the hard thing. That would be the seeking discomfort. But the joy and the gains that will come because of that will be immense.
Yes.
I'll be saying time up.
That awesome. Well, everybody, you hear Alfie in the background.
He wants
But that was a great, great answer. And everybody, I think that's a great practical, truly, to go see that. So we got Alfie and bonus. Everybody,
Alfie, we've got a
everyone,
whole audience here.
when you see we're going to take a picture and bring it to the show. And when you see the guard dog that Alfie is,
Vicious beast.
vicious. But Sir Daniel, thank you for that. I really enjoyed, I personally have enjoyed seeing the discomfort. It is a powerful, scary word, but the more you lean in, like you said, the joys that come from that. So everybody, tune in for more with the infamous Sir Daniel. Thank you for being on our little bonus mini tease, and I look forward to seeing you in person for our live show.
Thank you, my friend.
Everybody, thank you for another episode of Positive Traction and your support. Have a blessed day.